These are Nitro Type cars that need to return to the game. I asked you guys a few months ago what type of cars you guys would like to see return to the item shop, and we picked 6 of those replies and 4 of my own recommendations to come up with this list of 10 Nitro Type cars that need to return to the game. First of all, one of my recommendations, we got the Shadow X Max Tree. Now this car is a pretty OG car, it's held in a lot of prestige, so I could see a lot of people not wanting this car to come back. However, me personally, I want it back. This car looks absolutely sick and it is so unique. It's literally just a black car and that's it. It's the black outline of a Christmas tree car and it's just a void of light that looks absolutely epic, and there's really nothing else like it in the entire game. Now they said this car wouldn't return, however they also said that when they originally introduced it in 2012, then they proceeded to re-release it in 2018. So I mean, it's always a possibility of this car coming back yet again, and me personally, I would be a fan of this because this is an absolutely sick car that I'd love to add to my collection. Next up, we got the Liberty Stallion, which is another one of my recommendations, not to be considered with the Liberty Stallion that is in the game. This car was never added to the game. It was removed from the game files on May 6th of last year as of recording this video, and it's literally just a kind of cool looking car that was sitting in the game files and never got added. Even though this isn't the coolest car in the world, the fact that they just have unused cars in the game, why not just add them to the game? I mean, again, this is not the coolest car in the world, but it definitely doesn't look that bad. It holds up against the cars of today. In my opinion, they should release this car because I think it looks pretty cool. Next up, we got the Yacht. These first 4 here are again my recommendations, and this car has been in the Nitro Type item shop, and I feel like they should throw it into the Nitro Type item shop more often because I feel like it's actually a pretty unique car. It's one of the original boat cars, and I just feel like it rotating around the Nitro Type item shop more often would be cool for a lot of players that haven't really gotten a taste of this car yet. And then the final one of my recommendations, we have the Goldfish. Those of you who are OG fans of the channel know my personal vendetta I have against this car. The one season car I missed, well, actually scratch that, I've missed the last few seasons, but back when I was collecting every single car from every single season that I played, this is the one car I missed because I wasn't a gold member, and this car still pains me for that to this day. And that's the end of my recommendations, so let's scroll over to the poll where I asked what Nitro Type cars you guys would like to see coming to the game. Midas Nitro Type responded with Corn Dog's car. A little more exposition on that. They said if they wanted a real answer, they just want new cars to be released in the game, which is fair. Nitro Type had a moment when they released the item shop for the first time and they were introducing new cars like every week, and since then new cars are kind of rare. However, let's for a moment consider Corn Dog's car coming to the game, which is only held by one person, which is the founder of Nitro Type, Corn Dog. Now there have been some admin exclusive cars that have come to the game, so I wouldn't completely rule out the possibility of Corn Dog's car being added to the Nitro Type item shop. However, again, I kinda doubt it considering it's exclusively for the founder of Nitro Type, but I mean, who knows, it's always an option. Next up, Endercrafts recommends bringing the Wild 500 to the Nitro Type item shop. Honestly, I disagree. This car should never be brought into the Nitro Type item shop. There are very few people that have this car. It's rewarded for having 500,000 races on Nitro Type, which is a very impressive number. And if they suddenly added it to the item shop, I feel like that would completely ruin the achievement of having raced 500,000 times to get this car. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of this car design. I honestly think it's cool, but it's not the craziest car in the world. But again, it definitely should not come to the Nitro Type item shop, even though I knew Endercrafts was joking right there. We just need to specify a little bit in case some viewers don't know. And then we got Toy Bonnie Fan, which is a kind of sus name, I'm not gonna lie, recommending to bring back the Festive Tank. Honestly, this car is a pretty cool car. It's animated, so if you can load it up there, as you can see there, the cannon on its front rotates back and forth, and it's just a tank kind of redecorated with a candy cane cannon and tons of Christmas decorations on it. It's a pretty cool car. I don't think any people are specifically attached to this car, so I don't think that many people will be mad if it came back to the game. However, I do think it's just rare enough where newer fans would be happy to see this car added to the game so they could buy it. So overall, overall, I do agree. I think this car would not be a bad car to return to the Nitro Type item shop. Next up, Monster recommends the Hang 15. This Hang 15 is a pretty OG car. It was originally introduced like way back, and this is one of those Hang cars. There's a bunch of different Hang cars which are all like different Hang numbers, such as Hang 11 and whatever. This is the Hang 15. It's the surfboard with rocket boosters on it. Honestly, this is a pretty OG car. Only 75 players have it according to the Nitro Type wiki, which is pretty crazy, so it kind of ruined the value of it if it came back into the Nitro Type item shop. However, not a lot of people have this car, so it would provide a lot of new people the opportunity to get it. I honestly don't think this one should return though, just because of the rarity, and it would be absolutely ruined if it came back to the game. Next recommendation was the Mclaro from Squiddies. So I don't exactly know what you mean here. I mean, there's tons of Mclaro cars, you didn't specify one, so we're just picking out the Blitz Mclaro. Again, one of these cars I think should not return to the game. All the Mclaros are cars that you earn for racing a ton. For example, this one is for racing 100,000 times, and again, it absolutely ruined the rarity and the prestige if this car was to come into the Nitro Type item shop. In my personal opinion, I don't think this car should be coming into the Nitro Type item shop. And then finally, by Sork Allen, the NASA Shuttle. This is a car that I'm surprised hasn't been put in the Nitro Type item shop already. This car was part of the top tier of Nitro Type cars that you could buy in the dealership, and it was honestly kind of a quite creative car, especially for the time it was introduced. When it was in the dealership, it was one of the most famous cars in the game. However, since the release of the Nitro Type item shop, they haven't re-released it. I don't know if that's for copyright reasons because it has NASA in the name or what exactly, but again, this car I definitely think should return because it was one of those cars you could buy on the dealership, and the dealership was there for a long time. So honestly, I think you should be able to buy this, and I'm surprised it hasn't come to the Nitro Type item shop already, again considering it was in the dealership. And yeah, those are 10 Nitro Type cars the community thinks should return to the game. Comment your thoughts on these in the comment section below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Sold out.